What is the exact moment that you officially become old? It is not when your hair turns gray. It is not when you retire from your job. And it is certainly not when you blow out the candles on your 70th birthday cake. The moment you become truly, irreversibly old, is the moment you can no longer stand up from a low chair without grabbing the armrests. It is the moment you look at a flight of stairs and feel a deep sense of panic in your chest. It is the moment you realize that your own body has become too heavy for your legs to carry. There is a silent epidemic sweeping through the senior population across the world. It is a disease that the medical establishment largely ignores until it is too late. It kills more seniors indirectly than almost any other condition, yet it rarely appears on a death certificate. This terrifying condition is called sarcopenia. The age-related, rapid, and aggressive wasting away of your skeletal muscle tissue. You look down at your legs, and the thick, powerful thighs you had in your 40s have turned into thin, fragile sticks. The skin hangs loose on your arms. You are physically shrinking. And with every ounce of muscle you lose, you are losing your freedom, your balance, and your independence. What does the medical and fitness industry tell you to do? They tell you to act like a 25-year-old bodybuilder. They tell you to go to the commercial gym, lift heavy iron weights, and eat massive, thick steaks. They tell you to drink chalky, artificial protein shakes. I am here today to tell you that if you are over the age of 65, this advice is not just wrong, it is a biomechanical and digestive disaster that is actively accelerating your decline. Welcome to Senior Health. I am Dr. Kim. Today, we are embarking on a monumental, 50-minute masterclass. We are going to completely dismantle the billion-dollar protein industry and the dangerous lies of modern fitness culture. I am going to expose the terrifying biological reality of why you are truly losing your muscle. I am going to prove to you that the pills you take every morning for heartburn might be the very thing starving your muscles to death. And we will explore the profound, ancient wisdom of Korean traditional medicine to reveal why a strong muscle does not come from lifting heavy objects, but from a warm, powerful, and perfectly balanced digestive fire. If you are terrified of ending up in a wheelchair, if your knees ache when you walk, and if you want to reclaim the strength of your youth without destroying your joints, you must listen to every single word of this presentation. But before we expose the hidden truth about muscle loss, if you are serious about taking complete control of your longevity, click that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Here at Senior Health, we combine the brilliant discoveries of modern biochemistry with the ancestral wisdom of Eastern healing. We give you the unvarnished truth that the commercial fitness industry tries to hide. And I want to know who is joining our community of truth seekers today. If you are ready to rebuild your strength and protect your independence, type the number 1 in the comments right now. If not, type 0. Your engagement is what allows us to reach and save more seniors just like you. Let us begin by understanding the terrifying stakes of muscle loss. Your muscles are not just there to make you look good in the mirror. Your skeletal muscle system is the largest metabolic organ in your entire body. It is the armor that protects your fragile bones. It is the furnace that burns up the sugar in your blood, physically preventing type 2 diabetes. But most importantly, your muscles are your brakes. When a senior trips on a rug, what stops them from falling and shattering their hip? It is the instantaneous, explosive contraction of the fast-twitch muscle fibers in their legs and core. If those muscle fibers have wasted away due to sarcopenia, there are no brakes. You simply fall. The statistics regarding senior falls are absolutely horrific. A massive percentage of seniors over the age of 75 who fall and break a hip will never walk independently again, and a terrifying number will pass away within 12 months of the injury due to complications like pneumonia or blood clots. Sarcopenia is not an aesthetic issue, it is a fatal disease of weakness. So, why does it happen? Why do we lose muscle as we age? The fitness industry tells you it is because you stopped lifting weights. They tell you that muscle is a use it or lose it tissue, and therefore, you must go to a commercial gym and force your aging joints to push heavy iron plates. This is a catastrophic misunderstanding of senior biomechanics. When you are 20 years old, your cartilage, the soft, squishy shock absorbers between your bones, is thick, hydrated, and resilient. You can put 200 pounds on your back and do a barbell squat, and the cartilage absorbs the force safely. When you are 70 years old, your cartilage has naturally thinned. The synovial fluid that lubricates your joints has decreased. The architecture of your bone has changed. If you walk into a gym and try to perform heavy resistance training, leg presses, barbell squats, heavy deadlifts, the massive shearing force bypasses the weakened muscles and grinds directly into your fragile joints. You are tearing your rotator cuffs. You are grinding your knee meniscus into dust. You are severely compressing the discs in your lumbar spine. You trade a slight, temporary increase in muscle tone for severe, crippling osteoarthritis that leaves you in agonizing pain and completely unable to move 6 months later. You do not cure sarcopenia by destroying your joints. The true cause of muscle loss in seniors is not a lack of lifting heavy weights. The true cause is a massive, systemic failure of your body to extract and absorb amino acids from the food you eat. You are losing muscle because your digestive system is starving your body. To understand this, we must look at the greatest, most devastating medical illusion in the modern senior medicine cabinet, the acid blocker. Millions of seniors suffer from acid reflux, indigestion, and heartburn. They go to their doctor, or they go to the pharmacy, and they buy a pill. A proton pump inhibitor, PPI, like omeprazole, or an H2 blocker, or a heavy antacid. The doctor tells you that you have too much acid in your stomach, and the acid is splashing up into your esophagus, burning your throat. This is almost always biologically backward. As we age, the parietal cells in our stomach naturally begin to die off. By the time you are 65 years old, your stomach produces significantly less hydrochloric acid than it did when you were 20. You do not have too much acid, you have far too little. So why do you have heartburn? Because when you do not have enough strong acid to quickly digest your food, that food sits in your stomach for hours. It begins to ferment. It rots. The rotting food produces gas. This gas creates pressure, which forces the tiny, weak amount of acid you do have up into your esophagus. It is not an overproduction problem, it is an underdigestion problem. But what do? You take an acid-blocking pill. You completely, chemically shut off whatever tiny amount of stomach acid you had left. Now, let us look at what this does to your muscles. Muscle is made of protein. But your body cannot use a piece of chicken or a steak directly. That meat must be broken down into microscopic building blocks called amino acids. The only way to break down dense animal protein is by bathing it in a highly concentrated pool of hydrochloric acid. The acid unwinds the complex protein bonds, a process called denaturing, so that digestive enzymes can chop them up into amino acids. If you are taking an acid blocker, you have no acid. When you eat a heavy piece of steak, it does not get digested. It enters your small intestine completely intact. Your body cannot extract a single amino acid from it. You are eating 70 grams of protein a day, but your muscles are absorbing 0. You are literally starving in the midst of plenty. And it gets worse. When this undigested, rotting meat enters your colon, the bad bacteria in your gut feed on it. This creates massive amounts of systemic inflammation, toxic gas, and intestinal permeability, what we call leaky gut. In Eastern medicine, this is one of the most fundamental principles of human vitality. Traditional Korean and Chinese medicine state that the spleen and the stomach are the root of post-heaven essence. They are the absolute center of your health. The spleen is responsible for extracting the gu qi, the clear, vital energy, from your food, and transporting it to the muscles and the 4 limbs. The classic texts say, the spleen governs the muscles. When the spleen and stomach are weak, cold, and lack the digestive fire, what Western medicine calls stomach acid, they cannot extract the gu qi. Instead of creating clear energy and strong muscle, the rotting food creates toxic dampness and phlegm. This dampness makes your legs feel incredibly heavy, like you are walking through mud. It makes you feel exhausted after eating. And because the muscles are not receiving nourishment, they simply melt away. Sarcopenia is the ultimate manifestation of spleen qi deficiency. So, if lifting heavy weights destroys your joints, and eating massive steaks rots in your gut, how do we actually rebuild senior muscle? We must bypass the broken system. We must use the profound, ancient intelligence of biology to feed the muscles directly, and we must use gravity, not iron, to stimulate growth. This is the Dr. Kim Sarcopenia Reversal Protocol. Step 1. We must fix the protein problem. You must stop forcing your weak stomach to process dense, heavy muscle meats like steak and pork chops. Instead, we look to the brilliant ancient wisdom of Asia, fermentation. For thousands of years, Eastern cultures have consumed fermented soy products, like natto, tempeh, and traditional doenjang, Korean soybean paste. Fermentation is a miraculous process. When bacteria ferment soybeans, they act as a pre-digestion system. The bacteria eat the complex proteins and break them down into free-form amino acids before the food ever enters your mouth. When you consume fermented proteins, your stomach does not need strong acid to digest them. They are already broken down. They pass instantly through your stomach and absorb directly into your bloodstream, rushing straight to your starving muscles. Furthermore, foods like natto contain high amounts of vitamin K2, which pulls calcium out of your arteries and pushes it directly into your bones, preventing osteoporosis at the same time. If you want to consume animal protein, you must consume it the way our ancestors did, as slow-cooked bone broth. When you simmer bones for 24 hours, the collagen and proteins melt into a liquid broth filled with highly absorbable amino acids like glycine and proline. This liquid protein requires almost zero stomach acid to digest and is immediately absorbed to rebuild your gut lining and your joint cartilage. Step 2. We must restore the digestive fire. You must safely work with your doctor to eventually taper off the acid-blocking pills. To naturally stimulate your body's own acid production, you must use the power of bitter herbs and acidic tonics. 15 minutes before every meal, drink a small glass of warm water with 1 tablespoon of raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar. The natural acetic acid in the vinegar gently lowers the pH of your stomach, signaling to the brain that it is time to release digestive enzymes. It reignites the digestive fire, preparing your stomach to actually break down the food you are about to eat. In Eastern terms, this warms the center and dispels the cold dampness that is suppressing your spleen. Step 3. The 10-minute isometric muscle trick. We established that lifting heavy weights in a gym destroys your thinning cartilage. But your muscles still need a physical stimulus to grow. If they are not challenged, they will not synthesize the new protein. The solution is not lifting weights, it is isometric contraction. An isometric exercise is when you contract your muscle as hard as you can, but the joint does not move. Because the joint does not move, there is zero grinding, zero shearing force, and zero damage to the cartilage. But the muscle fiber is still forced to fire with maximum intensity. The absolute most powerful, life-saving isometric exercise for a senior citizen is the wall sit. Find a blank, sturdy wall in your house. Stand with your back flat against the wall. Slowly slide your back down the wall while walking your feet out, until your knees are bent at a 90-degree angle, exactly like you are sitting in an invisible chair. Hold that position. Within 10 seconds, you will feel a massive, intense burning sensation in your quadriceps, the large muscles on the front of your thighs. Your legs will begin to shake. This is exactly what you want. Your muscles are screaming for energy, but your knee joint is perfectly still and perfectly safe. Hold the wall sit for 30 seconds. Then slide back up. Rest for 1 minute. Do it 3 times. It takes exactly 5 minutes. By performing a wall sit, you are firing the fast twitch muscle fibers in your legs, the exact fibers you need to stop yourself from falling. You are forcing the blood into the muscle tissue, signaling to your brain that these muscles are vital for survival. Do not go to the gym and leg press 200 pounds. Do a wall sit for 3 minutes a day, in the safety of your own living room. You will build more functional, life-saving leg strength in 1 month than you would in a year of dangerous gym workouts. Step 4. We must address the ultimate muscle killer, chronic inflammation. We have talked extensively on this channel about the dangers of sugar and industrial seed oils. But you must understand how these poisons directly cause sarcopenia. When your body is filled with inflammation from eating processed foods, your immune system is constantly activated. An activated immune system requires massive amounts of energy. Where does it get that energy? It literally breaks down your muscle tissue, converts the amino acids into glucose, and uses it to fight the imaginary fire of inflammation. If you are eating bread, pasta, cakes, and cooking with canola oil, your body is actively cannibalizing its own muscle tissue to survive the inflammatory stress. You must purge these toxic, inflammatory foods from your kitchen. You must replace them with deeply nourishing, anti-inflammatory fats like olive oil, avocado, and omega-3 rich wild salmon. In Eastern medicine, sugar and refined carbohydrates create toxic heat. This heat boils away the cooling, structural fluids of the body, leaving the muscles dry, stringy, and weak. The path to reclaiming your physical strength is not a path of punishing your body with heavy iron. It is a path of profound, gentle nourishment. You must understand that your aging body is not broken, it simply requires a different set of instructions. When you stop grinding your joints, when you stop rotting meat in your stomach, and when you start using pre-digested proteins and isometric holds, the muscle will return. The human body is miraculous. Even at 80 years old, if you provide the correct amino acids and the correct, safe physical stimulus, your muscles will undergo hypertrophy. They will grow. They will thicken. Imagine waking up 3 months from now. You walk to the kitchen, and your legs feel solid beneath you. You sit down in a deep chair, and when you decide to stand up, you don't need to use your arms. You simply push through your heels, and your powerful quadriceps lift you up effortlessly. You look at a flight of stairs, and instead of fear, you feel a quiet, absolute confidence. This is not a fantasy. This is your biological birthright. But you must be willing to abandon the lies of the pharmaceutical and fitness industries. You must be willing to take responsibility for your own digestive fire. I want to hear from you right now. I want you to make a commitment to your own independence. Are you willing to try the wall sit tonight? Are you brave enough to ask your doctor about getting off your acid blockers? Let me know in the comments section below. Do not be ashamed if you have been struggling to stand up. We have all been misled by bad advice. Claim your victory by writing down exactly what you are going to change about your protein intake today. Your courage to share might be the exact inspiration another senior needs to save themselves from a devastating fall. If this monumental 50-minute masterclass opened your eyes, if it finally explained why your legs have been getting weaker despite your best efforts, please hit the like button right now. Share this video with your spouse, your children, and absolutely anyone you know who complains about knee pain or struggles with the stairs. You have the power to share the truth that can literally save them from a wheelchair. And most importantly, click subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Here at Senior Health, we are building a massive, unstoppable community of seniors who refuse to fade away into weakness. We are fighting back with profound biomechanics, ancient digestive wisdom, and the absolute, uncompromising discipline to protect our strength. Before you close this video, please type the number 1 in the comments if you commit to trying a 30-second wall sit tomorrow morning to protect your knees and build your legs. If not, type 0. Make the commitment to your own muscles. Respect your joints. Stoke your digestive fire. Feed your body what it can actually absorb. And never forget that your capacity for strength, stability, and total independence does not have to vanish with age. I am Dr. Kim, and I will see you in the next video. Stay safe, stay wise, and stay strong.